right, so jacked my car up, my 958 for the first time. Well, some people had mentioned to get hockey pucks to jack this up. I went ahead and bought these custom pucks that have like an insert, and I'll show them later, maybe in the last clip when I drop it down. But what I do to lift this car, and it was pretty much the same as my other Cayenne. Let's see here, lost my bearings. So right there, I use this special jack setup that Harbor Freight sells, and it lifts up these 2 points. And then I got my new jack stands. They're Harbor Freight. They're a copy of, I forget that really expensive brand. So basically, you get 4 of them for the price of 2 of the other ones. So it's a good deal as long as they hold up, and they seem structurally sound at the moment, so I haven't died yet. And but anyway, I got these special ones that maybe didn't need, that have the fin on them to stay in that slot. And I think you can see a little bit there. Lifting up the back, I used this part here. You can probably see a little bit of rubbing. Probably next time I'll put a puck or something on it to keep it from, but you definitely don't want to lift off that to the casting. But if you lift up off this subframe, you can get with one jack, which I have without the attachment on down there, one jack, and just lift it up and then put your 4, just give me your 2 posts with your hockey pucks. Or like I said, I got a custom one that I bought in Europe. It took about 2 weeks to get. I think it was from the UK. But that's it. That's how you lift it up. This mirrors the 955 I had, and I'm assuming the 957, the same setup. And that's an easier way to jack it up. Also replacing the transaxle fluid, and it's an 8mm insert, Allen head. This drain plug has looks like the red Loctite on it to keep from leaking. A lot of people will be buying new inserts, but I made sure that these inserts wouldn't strip out, and I think I'll try to reuse them again. But the big thing is when you're changing fluid, always, and I'm sure everybody's heard this, but I'll just reiterate it, to remove the fill one first before draining it, because there's a possibility you might get yourself in trouble and strip one out. But I did the made sure the plugs were clean, got the Allen wrench into its position, and kind of hit with the back of to make sure it was inserted well, and then it came out like butter. It was not in there very hard, or as far as the torque setting. So the reason I'm replacing it, fluid, I mean, it's very dark, so it's in a black tub, but it is very dark. It's definitely not been changed, I don't know, at least in a while. I do want to bring up, when I opened up the fill plug, I was quite surprised that the fluid started coming out a little bit. So I haven't driven it much other than brought it in and turned it off. So I was quite surprised with that. The fluid was coming out from the fill point. That's usually, you wait till, I think, every time I've ever filled transaxle, you wait till it stops dripping or close. So whoever filled this up, probably Porsche, they filled it up pretty close to the line, so it probably doesn't matter. But I am changing this fluid like everybody. The transaxle problem, I'm starting to feel a little bit more when I'm driving in a parking lot. It feels like I don't know, a weird sensation when driving slow. Went fast, no big deal. I knew it was probably time to replace it anyways, and my goal is to change the fluid for the next 4 weeks. I'm going to drive to work and back for a week, change the fluid, do it again and again and again. I'm going to do 3 or 4 times, see if it improves. I pray it does, so I don't have to do a rebuild. And I guess the other way I've read or seen somebody unplug that electrical plug and then drive around, obviously you're going to get a fault. But if your problem goes away, obviously that's the transaxle. So we'll see. A lot of people say the transaxle, I forget what they're called, pads, get dirty, and not flushing, but draining your transaxle fluid will possibly get some of that debris away, and multiple times it will clean it up. And so that's what I'm hoping for. I am using, everybody goes with this European stuff. I'm gonna try this Valvoline 7590, and it's in these new containers that fill real nice. I mean, it's like a Capri Sun bag. I'm gonna try those. Those sell out pretty quick, but I've used this in my 928, 7590, but it's not synthetic. And what I'm trying to say is this would work fine in the Cayenne because there is plenty of room to fill. So any of these two, but this one, like a Capri Sun bag, and we'll see how it goes. I really like Valvoline's products. I'm hoping it's good. If not, I was thinking about getting a liquid moly transmission fluid from maybe the last one, but if this one starts off great, I probably will stay with it. It's probably half the price. And Valvoline has always been top notch for me, especially for the 928 when you're buying, you know, your high zinc oils. So like a lot of these fillers, they have a fill cap that, you know, you like I want to say a caulking. You have to like cut it off, and then you have to take this thing off and then pull the seal so it doesn't leak. And squeeze it like a Capri Sun in there, and it's starting to leak out. So I can maybe see why the Porsche guy capped it off. It's starting to slow down a little bit. It was pouring out a lot more. Now it's still coming out. I'm gonna let it drain just a hair more, but you can tell the fluid is a lot clearer than before. It was black as coal. Looking it out, I mean, it's pretty dark, dirty. So hopefully we'll see an improvement, but I think it's going to take more than just a recap. If you look at the puck I bought from the UK, that's what they look like. It's for Macan or Cayenne. Evidently the Macan's area is a little bit smaller. I don't know, a hockey puck. So I guess you put them together. Well, yeah, it's pretty much hockey puck. Just looks like a hockey puck that they milled out another piece of rubber and screwed it on. It's got a screw there. Kind of funny. So probably could have saved money and just got the hockey puck. Okay, final notes. Also, so put the fluid in, drove it around, went back and forth to make sure it was going into gears and stuff. The only thing it did when I started it up, it said load mapping, and I was like, uh-oh, what's that all about? It took about 30 seconds, and then it went away. So evidently, it knew that I drained the fluid, and the fluid was low at one point. I didn't unplug the battery. I just did what it's, you know, just dropped the fluid. And then it did load mapping, like I said, 30 seconds, and then it went off, put it in gear, went forward and back for a while, just make sure nothing bad would happen, because these vehicles are kind of heavy. And that little lip there is hard to push over to get it back in the garage. So at least for my little wimpy arms. But anywho, that's what I've done. And we'll maybe do it a second time if this is, it felt really good. I mean, I was kind of surprised how good it felt. So I'm going to let it, you know, drive it and see what happens. But so far I was very happy with the results. Driving slow, I didn't feel any popping or weird noises. It was good. Hopefully that placebo effect, or whatever you want to call it, is just as good as before. But we'll see after driving it, maybe so 25 to 30 miles. So that'd be 60 times 4. So give or take driving around the neighborhood. So maybe 300 miles a week I'll put on it, and then change the fluid and do it again. And it might only take twice or 3 times. And I'll have to make a decision if I want to go to a different brand. So far, I'm happy. And it's a lot cheaper, and I like that. I'm a cheapskate. Anyway, thanks. As always, please subscribe.